So we're actually in a thunderstorm doing this interview.
Hey Tribe, is Infami Musa back with another one. I'm here with brother Akil. Akil, how you doing?
I'm good, doing good, brother, doing good. You know, you gotta look both ways for safety.
Yeah.
You gotta look left, and if you look right, you're gonna get in a bad situation. So people drive on the left side over here. How's it going, everybody? My name is Akil Mujahid Terry. AKILI means brain. I always get told by Kenyans that's out here. So what I'm doing out here is something great. I'm doing motorcycle touring and motorcycle rentals out here in Kenya. So my business is called AMT Motorcycle Adventures, or Amazing Motorcycle Tours. But you can find us online on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all the different rest. But what we're trying to do, we're trying to basically bring a different type of tourism. You always see people do tourism through a vehicle like a car or a van, but we're trying to actually let people use a motorcycle to get around Kenya, because you see a lot of motorcycles out here, and there's actually a lot of expats out here that use motorcycles because there's a lot of traffic. You can get through the traffic really easily with your motorcycle, and even if you don't know how to ride a motorcycle, we can train you, or we can get somebody to train you that's out here, because we have a lot of partnerships with a lot of different motorcycle riding associations.
So Akil, can anybody come to Kenya and start a company? Or do you have to have certain degrees or certain knowledge?
No, you just have to have the will and the way. If
Mhm.
you're willing to take calculated risk, you can definitely be successful here in Kenya. A lot of the business owners I know that's out here, they just took calculated risk, and they were able to become successful. Some businesses don't turn out as well, but then you have another business idea that you can also put into, because out here in Kenya, you don't really need a lot of money to first initially start a business. You can have possibly multiple different businesses that you're doing to see exactly.
You said you don't need a lot of money to start a business.
No, you don't.
He said you do not need a lot of money to start a business. So can you give us a ballpark of how much it will cost to start a business in Kenya?
Yeah, a ballpark, to first get everything done the correct way,
Mhm.
is probably just, first having your first 1K, so $1,000.
$1,000, y'all.
one
I know
thousand
what
dollars.
y'all be spending 1,000 on, and it's not businesses. So let's go.
Yeah, so basically get your $1,000. You set yourself up with East African business consulting firms or somebody else,
Mhm.
and then they give you your basically your KRA pin,
Mhm.
your incorporation business, and then they give you a few other different documents. After
Mhm.
that, you can legally have your business up and running in Kenya.
Why Kenya?
Why Kenya? It just happened by God's grace, because I wanted to come out to Africa. My mother was going to actually send me to South Africa to do a tour, and that was right after my college graduation. I didn't choose to take that, and I was kind of upset, kind of beat myself in the head about it. So about I think about 2 years later, about 2 or 3 years later, I said, hey, you know what? I want to take that trip to Africa, because back in the States, I do African drum and dance. So I actually teach, and I also participate in professional shows. And so I want to come back to the motherland. But usually you can go to West Africa for the actual music part, but Kenya has the world's largest animals. So you can see all the big animals, rhinoceros, giraffes, elephants, and all those buffaloes. And it's you can even see sometimes on the side of the road. And so I said I want to experience that in Kenya, but I also want to do that on a motorcycle, because I ride in the States, I ride back and forth to work. So I commute from Sacramento to San Francisco at times. And so I said, hey, you know what? I want to actually ride a motorcycle in Kenya. And so when I came to Kenya, I wasn't able to actually get my booking, and I was like, wow, it's not a lot of motorcycle companies that actually provide services, and if they do, everybody wants to do it. It's actually a big motorcycle enthusiast group that's out there, and so I said, hey, you know what? I think Kenya is a good place to actually start a motorcycle business, because of the lack of potential competition and the need for people to actually want to ride a motorcycle out here.
So how many times did you have to come to Kenya or visit Kenya to decide on Kenya being the place that you start your business?
And you know what, man? It was just the first time, because when I came out here, I didn't know I was going to do a motorcycle business. I actually want to do like Airbnb or some type of like, income that can get residual income without actually, being in the continent, make sure I made the right connection. So I didn't live the regular tourist life. I actually made sure I got an Airbnb, communicated with individuals through Airbnb. I actually met another American tourist actually on the plane, and we actually connected together, and I got them to go to a phone shop to get their phone card. So you got to bring your passport. I messed up. I didn't bring it that the first day. I had to come back the next day with my passport so I can get a phone. And in Kenya, it's like they use a system called M-Pesa. So it's similar to Zelle, or Cash App or Venmo. And so they use that with all the different shops. So I made sure I got that situated. I made sure I kind of contact and figure out how the actual locals work. So it's like I just don't get played, because that's my main concern, is how can I basically establish trust? Because sometimes in Africa, sometimes you think people are always after your money, and then you do get a reality of that, because when you walk down the street, they see you in nice clothes. They say, "Hey, brother, give me a soda." "Oh, hey, can you do this for me?" "Oh, can you pay for my children's school fees?" And then it's like sometimes you just don't know how to actually interact the proper way to actually make sure you're getting what you need to get done the correct way, so that you can move forward in establishing your business in Kenya. So what I did was I figured out how to do the business before I left. So I met my director's name, Sammy Abuko. He actually worked at a previous motorcycle company, but he wasn't full time. So he wanted to be a full time employee. And he was actually the one who gave me the idea to even start a motorcycle company. I seen the need for it, but I actually didn't know exactly what to do and how to do it. And so I started to figure out and say, hey, you need to first get your business. It usually takes a week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a month. But if you have the right connections and do it the correct way, you can do it properly. But what I found out is that you need a Kenyan to be your director. If not, you have to pay $100,000. And so I say, hey, you can basically get a Kenyan that you trust for free. Oh, well, it's not free, but you can set up the company, or you can spend $100,000. I didn't have that in my pockets at that moment. So what I did was I used the Sammy, who was my now director, to actually help set up the company. So when I left, I actually did everything abroad. So I wasn't even in Kenya when.
So you were trusting a Kenyan to start your business while you were abroad?
Yes, totally. So like when I left, I only spent like 2 weeks in Kenya too.
In 2 weeks, you started your business in Kenya after visiting?
Yeah. So within 2 weeks, I actually visited Kenya. So I only was supposed to visit Kenya for 1 week. And then something happened because I wasn't able to ride the motorcycle the first week. I was able to extend my vacation to 2 weeks because my motorcycle booking was available. And luckily I did, because this business probably wouldn't have even started if I actually didn't wait that 2 weeks. So after the second week, I left and I basically established the connections I need to know. And so when I went back to America, I was able to source some loan funding. And when I actually was able to source the loan funding, I was able to do research, with the help of my Kenyan director, because WhatsApp is a very useful tool, because you can talk to anybody across the world,
absolutely,
especially in Kenya, to make sure everything is running properly.
If you don't have WhatsApp, please get WhatsApp.
Yes, get it. It'll get you your business. I'm telling you. But so basically, what I did, I looked up different website developers. So my first thing was, okay, how can I get a website developer for my particular company? Well, actually, excuse me, that's actually the second step. The first step was to actually figure out my business consulting firm. And so I used East African Business Consulting Firm, because they had, I think, like 58 reviews, and it's all 5-star. Sometimes, you got to look at the reviews to see if you got a legitimate
make sure
company.
they're not bots.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people be having bots. So
they do.
Aware of that.
You got to make sure you look at those reviews and see. So I used East African Business Consulting Firm, and then luckily they also had WhatsApp, because they know that other people from other countries like Germany, France, the UK, they all want to basically start businesses in Kenya, but they need a good intermediary, and they use WhatsApp. And so when you go on their page, you can click up WhatsApp, and you get directly in contact with your service provider. So I made the company with East African Business Consulting Firms. It cost $1,000 to actually establish the company, and then I was able to then, after get my certifications necessary for company registration. So you can make sure you're also in accordance with the governing laws, like with the KRA. KRA is in a sense IRS, so you don't want to play with either.
No,
so
not at all. Not here in Kenya.
No. And so after I got that established, then they were able to get me in contact with a lawyer. And so it's very key to actually make sure you have a good lawyer, so you actually know the governing laws in Kenya, but also too how to set up a hire agreement, which a hire agreement and an employee agreement, to make sure that you are hiring your employees correctly and it's enforceable for the different laws and things you set up in your contracts, but then also your hire agreement. Because I have customers from all across the world that come here that want to rent our bikes, and we have to have a solid hire agreement when they actually leave with our bikes, so that we know our assets are secured, and also too, they have a kind of professional type of, ambiance when coming in here.
What type of tours do you go on? Do you take people on?
Oh yeah, we take them like kind of all across Africa. We actually set up our tours after I came back in March. So in October, that was my very first time coming to Kenya. When I left, I set up the company, and then I met an American citizen who was actually Kenyan as well. He actually worked at the same facility I worked at, but he was a manager in a particular department, and he actually had a business in Kenya. And I would have never known he had that business unless I actually opened my mouth and said, "Hey, how's it going, sir? Where are you from?" And then he said, "Kenya." I said, "Oh, okay, cool. I got a business in Kenya." He said, "Okay, me too. Let's connect." And so this individual was actually a part of the entertainment industry. And so he was able to get me in contact with KTN, NTV, and these other news channels. And it allowed me to get more recognition. And so after I came back in March, we actually then set up the tours. So with the tours, we go over different places. We go to Oleg Tok. We go to see Mount Kilimanjaro. We go to Masai Mara. And then also too, we go to Navasha. And then it's like we kind of do a whole tour around East Africa. And then hopefully in the future, we're going to be going out to Tanzania, Ethiopia.
That'll be amazing.
Yes. And so we're just, trying to just really build our tour packages. And then hopefully, God willing, in the future, we're going to be doing a partnership with BMW. And BMW just actually right around the corner.
Yeah.
And so right place at the right time. My director was at one of these events. He talked to one of the BMW managers. He said what company we had. He said, "Okay, cool. We're about to actually have BMWs come in, and then we can have a partnership with you and some other different companies to actually rent out these bikes to tourists. But it's only 3 particular companies that they're actually willing to partner with, and we are one of the 3. And so, this is, this is blessings all over, and I just got to be appreciative. It's at certain times, like we have low months when we're not, it's not a lot of kind of tourists coming in, but at the end of the day, we still make enough to cover the cost. But now we see it's high season, so we're getting a lot of pickup. We get a lot of returning customers. And then also too, with this new partnership with BMW in the future, we can actually provide, better tours for different class of people.
Okay, that sounds great, man. So anybody that's visiting Kenya, can they just contact you and hop on a bike, or do they need some type of license or anything like that to be able to do a tour with you?
Yeah. So usually it's really simple. It's like, only thing they got to do is look us up online, amtmotorcycleadventures.com, or, go to our social media, find our number. We're always available, almost 24/7. But yeah, so it's a really easy process. Only thing you have to have is your driver's license, your international driver's permit, if you're coming from out of country. And then you come in, we take a picture of those items. Then we sign the hire agreement. And then we sign a handover certificate, just going over and checking if everything is good with the bike, just like a rental car company. And after that, you're gone and off on your adventure.
Okay, so it's best for them to contact you before they come to Kenya to make sure they have the proper documents.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we can, it's good for them to contact us to say, "Hey, look, this is what we need from you when you come." Most people, when they come, they usually already have a lot of those documentations, but at times we actually just confirm with the individual saying, "Hey, this is the things that you need to be prepared for." Even if it's not your driver's license, your international driver's permit, we just kind of give you a little bit of tips and tricks of the trade on how to kind of survive in Kenya and just have just an enjoyable time while you're out here.
Oh, amazing, amazing. So how can somebody get their international driver's license?
Oh yeah, it's real easy. So it's like if you live in the States, you can go to AAA. AAA kind of dishes out those international driver's permits. And I think it's like $25, and then they even take your picture, and then you come out here with it. And actually, there's another place in Kenya that actually does it for you. I don't know the exact name for it, but there's different places you can do it. Even if you don't bring it while you're in the States, you can actually purchase it while you're here in Kenya. And actually, they give you a little bit a longer timeline. So AAA only does 1 year. I think they do 1 year, 2 years, and even 5 years.
Okay,
so
that's good to know.
Yeah,
that's good to know. So what's the cost to go on a tour with you?
The cost. Oh yeah, so we got this one individual. He's coming in January, and that's what's a blessing too. A lot of people are having trust within us to actually book in advance. That's really what I really want to build trust within our clients. So to say, hey, we're respectful and ethical a motorcycle company,
Mhm.
and we're going to basically, honor our agreements.
Mhm.
And so a lot of people see that. They see that through our social media interaction with the community. They see that through our reviews, and they see that kind of just by the ambiance and kind of how we set up this everything in regards to this creating a comfortable environment for them.
Mhm.
So this one individual is doing a 4-day tour, and it's I think for 1,400.
Okay.
And so it's all inclusive, so everything is included, nothing
Mhm.
that he has to worry about. If he wants to spend extra money, that's his own particular
Okay.
thing he can do. But we
Mhm.
also have another tour that's a 14-day tour.
14 days.
14 days, yes, yes, yes,
Woo!
yes.
Are they comfortable?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
Okay.
we have breaks in between, so
Okay.
we'll take them on the tour. Each day we have a real detailed itinerary.
Okay.
So if you go to our website, you can go to our tours. You click on any of our tours, you have a detailed itinerary of everything that you're going to be going through
Mhm.
through that tour, and you get a few little pics to see kind of the scenery as well, from what you're going to actually participate in.
Mhm.
But 14 days tour is a little bit more expensive, but not that expensive. But 5,000 each person. But
Mhm.
depending on how many people actually go, we can actually reduce the price for group pricing.
So what places are you stopping at on a 14-day tour? It
The
has to be some amazing places that you're stopping at.
Yeah, there are quite a few different places that we're stopping at. Our tour master Nixon kind of has set those up.
Mhm.
So some of the places could be the Nakuru Park, Ole Sambo,
Mhm.
Masamara,
Mhm.
Navasha, different places in Kisumu.
Mhm.
So it's really all over kind of Kenya that
Mhm.
kind of we visit.
So how's life in Kenya?
I was life in Kenya.
Yes.
Kenya life is great. It's like
Mhm.
I don't even feel like I'm away from home, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like you got Wi-Fi, you got TV, you got internet, you got hot water.
Yeah.
So it's like
constant hot water.
constant hot
It don't
water.
run out unless
It
your
don't.
electricity runs out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like most people, you think of like Africa as a third world country. Even when you go out in the bush, you don't even feel like you're in a third
Yes.
world country because they got phones. Like
Yeah.
you're still using like that Mapesa, like Zelle. It's like it don't feel like I'm
Mhm.
like it's like a home away from home. It's really comforting because when you actually come out here, you see these people on these National Geographic shows, like
Mhm.
big bellies,
Yeah.
fly dancing on their
Mhm.
eyeballs. And
Yes.
I was like, where are these people at? I don't
You
see
don't
them
see
out.
that, right?
I don't see them out here.
I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, even when I
Yeah.
see the poor folks, it's like it's just being in San Francisco. It's
Yeah.
like it's nothing new. It's like
Mhm.
you got people that say in suits, they got Benzes, they got Rolls Royces, they
Mhm.
got BMWs.
I've seen some Maybachs out here.
Yeah, they do, man. I was like, man,
Maybach.
where they get it from, man?
For real.
But they got like this it's just like the States, it's
Yeah.
nothing new, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper
Mhm.
to live. It's cheaper. It's better foods. It's like my employee actually took me to this commercial center. The food is like I think 350 shillings, so it's
Yeah.
about like almost $2.
Yeah,
But
$2.
you
Yep.
getting like fish, ungali,
You get a
cabbage,
full course meal.
full course meal,
Full course.
and you
For
don't
$2.
you don't get sick either out here, man, because
Nope.
you think you'll get like cholera or malaria and things like that.
Mhm.
I got bit with so many mosquitoes. I ain't sick. I
Yeah.
use what is it called? I use sometimes probiotic, to
Mhm.
like help before I come. But it's
Mhm.
like that's only the first 2 times. When I came out this time, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. It's like it's just it's like I just don't get sick. I haven't been sick
Yeah.
since I've been out here. The people are nice. You go to the malls, you got everything that you have in the States.
Mhm.
They're a little bit marked up price a little bit because it's like they do the shipping. They got to
Mhm.
basically cover for that cost.
Yeah, the
But
tariffs. Yep.
exactly. But it's like at the end of the day, you can get everything you need over here, and then
Mhm.
you can actually find stuff cheaper over here than actually in the States,
Yeah.
depending on where you go. And you have the
Absolutely.
right connections.
Are you here full time, or you go back and forth to the
Actually,
States?
I actually go back and forth from the States, and so the reason why I come back is to really just handle things for the business and do
Mhm.
different community or organized events.
Mhm.
But hopefully in the future, I want to basically buy an apartment or buy a compound because
Mhm.
you can get a full mansion. Actually, well, hold on, let's back it up. You said life in Kenya.
Yeah.
Hold on, you can get a full mansion for like I think like $500, even less. Sometimes
500.
500. Like you go to Riru, it's like that's only like 30 minutes away from here. You got a car that's like a super highway. It's not like you're driving on dirt roads or nothing like that. You're actually on a highway, going back
Paved
and forth.
highways.
Paved
Nice.
highways, nice.
Yeah.
And it's a little better from the States because it's like you get to
You get
you get to whip the car around a little bit. You don't get in trouble. And so but you got big mansions, fat mansions. It's like with security and all. Like it's crazy. Like if you go anywhere in Kenya though, it's like security is on point because it's like you go to a hotel, security. You go to a regular apartment, you got security. I'm like, man, it's like
And nobody can just walk in your place.
Nobody can walk in your place. It's like they even got like, you know, the fences all got like, you know, electrocuted, like, you know, wire. I always want to touch it to see how.
Yeah, the bar by the electrocuted.
You want to touch it? I want to see, you know, how bad it's gonna get you. I mean, you know, that's like, I think it's called your ed or something like that. You learn it in college. It's like that thing that want you, like, you know, when you open your door, when you're in the car, you want to open the door. It's like you see that little bob, also like, you know, that electric fence, but you don't see it in the States. I was like, man, I wonder how much that can get you, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's
you
like,
touch on the food. How's the food here? Do you enjoy the food?
Yeah, the food is actually pretty good. You know, it's actually way more healthier. It's like you get different staple meals like ungali. They got maize, you know, which is actually corn. Then they have their fish. They have their beef. Their beef is real smooth, especially when it's wet. You can eat it with the ungali. They have their chapati, which is like a flat bread, almost like naan bread, but a little bit more flatter. And then they have what is namachoma, you know, and that's fried goat. You know,
man,
that's
you love some namachoma over here.
That's a staple meal. So if you
namachoma,
go on our Suswa tour, you're gonna get some namachoma from the from the Maasai people.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
what's your favorite meal here?
My favorite meal, I'll say, is namachoma with some ungali and then some cabbage on the side.
You know how to eat it. You gotta put it all together, right?
yeah. You gotta basically get the ungali. You know, get that. You get the namachoma. You kind of got to swivel it in a sauce and then, you know, eat it. And so it'd be yummy too, man. So I'll be like, and it tastes good. You know, the cabbage. You be thinking like, you know, cabbage is gonna taste like a little bitter, but I said, I don't know what type of sauces they be putting up in here, man.
It's
good,
like, right?
It's good. It's like you got some kale. It's like, man, it's like kale. Sometimes it's like you don't taste as good in the States because you just frying it up if you don't season it correctly. But out here, man, they just like, it's like an African taste.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? Ooh, that's a good one.
For anybody that's visiting Kenya, where should they go?
That's a good one.
There's so many, huh?
There is so many. And it's like, the thing is, I don't know the actual names of them. You know, I use them on Google.
What part of Kenya are they located?
They're usually located in CBD. You can actually find a lot of great places. Go to Moy Avenue. Like I said, you get the meals for like $3, like, you know, sometimes $4 if you like do the conversion rate, you know, and then you can get like a full meal. So like, I think last time I went to, I think it was like the Drum Club in Moy Avenue. It's on Moy, but basically what I had was I had rice, I had some wet beef, and then I had a milkshake. You know,
you had a milkshake.
Had a
what kind of milkshake you had?
Chocolate milkshake.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was tasty too. It was big. I was like, man. And then, you know, I had a little soda pop, you know, it was about 100 shillings. So it was about, man, it's probably
you're making me hungry right now.
69 cents, man.
Yeah, you're making me hungry right now. Gotta go get a milkshake.
But you know what's crazy out here, though? I ain't gonna lie. I sweat differently out here.
How you sweat, man?
Man, I don't know. It's a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it's not the sweat specifically, but it's the scent of the sweat. And I actually tested it out each time I actually came and went back to the States. I tested it.
How do you test it?
Because it's like it's a different type of funk, and it's like for some reason it's like people use deodorant out here. That's for sure. But they take a lot of showers. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes they don't use as much deodorant because it causes as much chemicals.
They think Africans dirty. We're not dirty.
Yeah, no. They actually take a lot of showers. Actually, they take more showers. It's like living in Atlanta. You know, it's like, you know, you get a sweaty, and when you get sweaty, they usually change shirts. They don't do that out here. They go to the shower, they wash up, and they come back out. And so sometimes, you know, you can smell some of the must that come off of them, and it's like, I was like, okay, it's not that bad, but I was like, you know, when I like went to the gym and did different things of that nature, I kind of smell myself, and I was like, "Oh, this is a different type of must." I don't know if it's like when I'm eating. I don't know. Like,
it has to be the food.
It has to be.
I feel like the food doesn't have all those chemicals in it that we're normally eating in the States.
I think so, man. Because it's
are you eating more vegetables and fruits out here?
I definitely I see myself eating more vegetables, fruits, live foods. I actually cook foods. I don't use microwaves. A lot of people don't use microwaves. They have it in the Airbnbs, but most of the times people just actually cook. You know, they cook their foods like, you know, from scratch. And it's like, you know, it's not even, it doesn't take super long, probably like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then they have like a full course meal that's like, you know, you got the ungali, you know, with the sauces, like, you know, you got the chapati, or you got your wet fried beef or your goat. But it's like, I see people eating a lot more healthier. And then what I actually also asked is like, how was COVID? And they said nobody really got sick.
Nobody was sick.
Yes.
Barely anybody was sick out here. I heard the same thing.
Yeah, and then it's like you got to see the reason why. It's like you walk down the street, you see people they're fit, like everybody's fit. Like it's like you don't really see like any really obese people out here. It's like even when you got the like somewhat bigger people, they moving. It's
Yeah.
like I be saying like they athletic, man. Because you know the thing is they be going across the cars, because cars be going and you gotta like you gotta juke
Yeah, they
these
got
cars
so
out,
cool.
man. Because it's like they be moving, because it's like it's just powerful to see. It's like it's really kind of what they eat, because it's like they don't really have access to healthcare, because people be thinking like we go to other countries and they don't know healthcare, they don't got no retirement funds, they got all that here, plus insurance and the whole nine works. But the thing is, they don't use it as much because it's like a general healthcare system. So they go into the particular healthcare, they can get their needs met, but sometimes it's not, everything is not met. And then you have to pay higher fees for like dialysis machines and things like that. That's not covered in their base medical fees. But the thing is, they rarely even go to those this particular like the hospitals due to the fact that's how they're eating. Yes, there's different things like people do get malaria, but it's very rare. But when they do get malaria, it's like you be thinking like people just dying like flies. It's like I thought like when you get malaria, I thought it was all over for you. Yeah. But it's only like a 3-day sickness. Like it's like the flu.
But you must see the doctor. You might gotta get some medicine and see the doctor.
Exactly. When you do, you're just all fine. But the thing is, people outside of that, they don't really go to the hospital because they eating healthy. They they exercise pretty well because they're walking. They got they do carry bags on their heads. And
I lose weight out here. I lose a lot of weight, and I don't see a difference in my eating habits. I eat a lot more fruits and veggies because it's affordable. It's more affordable than the States. Yeah. But I actually lose a lot of weight out here. I'm like just shrinking.
Yep.
Have you lost weight?
I do. Every time I come back, everybody say I guess slimmer. Even though I want to get more slimmer, but at the end of the day, it's good to come out to Africa because every time I do come out here, it's like I do come back and I'm actually losing lost weight. I think the last time I came out was for like 3 weeks. I lost about like 15 pounds. Wow. And so I wasn't even really doing like much exercise. I was just running, going to different meetings, news interviews, and things of that nature. But at the very end of the day, I was still eating the same. I was still kind of taking as much calories. I was even drinking soda, because they soda pop is smooth out here and it's cheap. But the thing is, it's like I was still losing weight even with all the different food I was eating, and I was feeling full. Like if you eat your meals, you think it's like it's big but small at the same time. But
it's gonna fill you up.
It's gonna fill you up.
Yeah, Namachoma gonna fill you up.
Yep. So and this is a good feeling. Like I be eating like probably a whole bunch of processed foods, like sometimes burritos when I'm going to work, working 12-hour shifts. Yeah. Sometimes back.
I know about those 12s.
Yeah, man. So it's like you still be hungry, and so out here it's like I eat one meal. It's like shoot, that can last me for 7 hours, but I just gotta remind myself to eat again, And so it's just a blessing to just experience kind of a different lifestyle. That's the Kenyan lifestyle, and actually not even just a Kenyan lifestyle, the African lifestyle.
Yeah, the African way, the right way. So how are you treated here? How do people treat you here? Do you feel any ill will towards you, or how you treated? Man, how do people treat you?
They treat me like a Nigerian, man. Nah. But hey, look it. I wanna tell the truth. Yeah, it's like I ain't gonna lie, but I had to go through the ringers a little bit when I first came in here. Okay. So I actually, luckily, went through all the different things I need to go through, and I still basically chose Kenya to basically start my business. So like sometimes myself and your like me and yourself, we may be considered Nigerians because we're kind of bigger. We got beards.
My ancestry is
Nigerian. Oh yeah. So it's like I haven't did my ancestry test, but I'm pretty sure I'm most likely come from Nigeria. So but the thing is, it's like Nigerians considered kind of foreigners, and sometimes like just like in the States, it's like they got borders, and then sometimes they be beefing with different countries. But the thing is, it's like I'm always welcomed by the Kings. Everybody welcome. I always get karibu. That's always a welcoming thing.
So how can people get in contact with you?
So it's really easy to get in contact with me. I can actually give you my number. It's 916-947-2927. You can get that in the U.S. or you can hit me up on WhatsApp. We also have our company number, which you can find on our Google page. So we have our Mombasa office and our Niali office. You can either go to our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or even Twitter. You actually can find our information there. You can contact us. We'll respond to you within 24 hours or even less to make sure you have a welcoming experience from our company.
So we're actually in a thunderstorm doing this interview. Thank you so much, AKILI. I appreciate you. You dropped a lot of gems. He dropped a lot of gems, so y'all better pay attention or rewind it or watch it a couple times, because this is what we're doing. African Americans is coming back home. We're coming back home. Peace and blessings. Like, share, and subscribe.